You're standing on the edge. Something massive is coming. You feel it deep in your bones, like trying to catch smoke. You know God is up to something, yet the pieces don't quite fit. That tingling in your spirit, that restless ache, keeps you up at night. It's not just you overthinking. God is stirring something big. When Hess about to move, He leaves signs. Subtle at first, impossible to ignore. Romans 8:28 says it. All things work together for good for those who love Him. When God is preparing a shift, you feel it before you see it. First is a restlessness. Won't let you settle. Your soul is pacing back and forth, hungry for something beyond what you can name. You might have a good job, a stable life, even a solid faith. But suddenly it feels too small. Not chasing money, not chasing fame, a deep craving for purpose. Think of Noah in Genesis 6. He built an ark. No rain in sight. God stirred his heart to move. That discomfort you feel isn't a curse. It's God shaking you loose from the ordinary to prepare you for the extraordinary. You're not stuck. You're being stretched. Then come the closed doors. Hit like a punch to the gut. You poured everything into that dream job. They chose someone else. You invested years in a relationship. It unraveled. Your 5-year plan, mapped out, collapsed overnight. Those rejections sting, but they're not the end. They're divine detours. Joseph in Genesis 37 saw his dreams mocked. Brothers sold him into slavery. Every closed door pushed him closer to the palace. God shuts what doesn't belong in your story to guide you to His door. Don't curse the no. It's leading to His yes. Next, you notice divine appointments. People who show up at just the right moment. Words that cut straight to your soul. A stranger at church says something. Feels like God Himself speaking. A coworker you barely know shares a story. Mirrors your struggle. These encounters aren't random. They're orchestrated. Like Elijah in 1 Kings 19. Heard God's voice, not in the wind or fire, but in a gentle whisper. That sermon felt like it was written for you. That text from a friend, hadn't heard from in years. Not coincidences. Arrows pointing to your next step. Keep your eyes open. God speaks through the unexpected. Then there's sudden clarity. Washes over you like a wave. You've been praying, wrestling, begging for direction. Out of nowhere, a quiet peace settles in. Not always a booming voice, not a neon sign, just a knowing. Deep in your core, Philippians 4-7 calls it, the peace that surpasses understanding, guarding your heart and mind. You might not see the whole road ahead, but you know the next step. Leave that toxic job. Start that ministry. Forgive that person. The fog lifts. You see with new eyes. That clarity isn't your cleverness. It's God aligning your heart with His purpose. But here's where it gets real. Closer you get to breakthrough. Fiercer the opposition. Doubts scream louder. Bills pile up. People you trusted question your faith. It's not just bad luck. It's spiritual warfare. Jesus faced it in Matthew 4. Before His ministry launched, the enemy came at Him with everything. The devil knows when God is about to move, he throws distractions, chaos, anything to make you quit. But here's the hidden truth. Those attacks are proof. You're close. Bigger the battle, greater the blessing. On the other side, Ephesians 6:13 says, stand firm. With the full armor of God, you will stand. Don't back down. The enemy only fights. What threatens him? These signs: restlessness, closed doors, divine appointments, clarity, opposition, not random, God's fingerprints, all over your life. Hess moving, even when you can't see. The full picture. Think of Moses in Exodus 3, staring at a burning bush, wondering why God chose him. He didn't have all the answers, but he had a call. That was enough. Your job isn't to map out every step. It's to trust God's timing. Hebrews 11:8 says, Abraham obeyed and went, not knowing where he was going, but knowing who was leading. That same God is leading you. You might feel stuck, confused, even scared, but every sign is a signal. He's preparing you for something bigger. Don't cling to the familiar. When God calls to the unknown, that restlessness is His invitation. Those closed doors, His redirection, those divine appointments, His confirmation, that clarity, His guidance, that opposition, proof you're on the verge of a breakthrough. Harry's where you choose. Shrink back, settle for safe, or step out in faith. God doesn't move in half measures. When He shifts your life, it's not a tweak, it's a transformation. Look at David in 1 Samuel 17. A shepherd boy, facing a giant. With a sling and a stone, he didn't wait for perfect conditions. He trusted God's call, ran toward the fight. You're in a similar moment. The signs are there. Will you move? Will you trust? The God who parted the Red Sea in Exodus 14 can part your obstacles. This isn't about having it all figured out. It's about saying yes to a God who never fails. You might be thinking, what if I miss it? What if I read the signs wrong? Here is the comfort. Psalm 23:3 says, He leads you in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Even when you stumble, He guides you back. Your mistakes can't derail His plan, those restless nights, His whisper to keep seeking, those closed doors, His push to the right door, those divine appointments, His way of saying, you're not alone. That clarity, His promise has with you. That opposition, just noise. Compared to His power, God is about to move. He's calling you to move with Him. Don't wait for a perfect moment. There won't be one. Like Peter in Matthew 14:29, stepping out of the boat, onto the water, not because the waves were calm, but because Jesus was calling. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Trust Him. Say yes. Watch Him work.